G'day guys, hope you're doing well. Finally get to do another video. Unfortunately over the last few days life has gotten in the way as it does, but oh well. I'm back anyway for another review, and it is Prune Face. I'm going to focus on the card back for you so you can get a quick look at that. As far as I know, it is a complete redo of the original vintage Prune Face. Obviously this time it has his real name, which is Orrimaarko. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Really cool figure from the last wave of the vintage collection, obviously, as I've been doing with the last few figures. So he's number 114, and got a couple more to go after this one. So it is Prune Face. So let's have a look at the figure, because it's a pretty good figure. It's the first Prune Face I've ever owned. I've never had any of his previous incarnations before, so it's good to finally have the guy in my collection. And I did miss out on Major Pano, which is a same species, which is a Dressellian. I did miss out on him back when he was released, so I do intend to pick him up sometime on eBay in the near future, just to have them two together. So really great to have this guy finally. He's quite cool. I always like that sketch from Robot Chicken, the Prune Face. He's like the action hero, and he's just there to fix the photocopier or something. So he's quite a cool looking figure. I really like the way they've done the hood. It actually looks like it fits the head pretty well. So if Hasbro would like to do this with any future Jedi release, I will be very happy. I'm not going to bank on that though. So you can see him alright. He does have these cool little pouches on the front. They're not really pouches, they're just little pieces of fabric stitched onto the front. And he does have the little, see if I can pick that out, it is quite a touchy little thing. Can't think of what it is, some kind of detonator or a little comlink or something, but see if I can zoom right in on that. And if my pop-ups go away, I'll be able to do that. Yeah, it's just a little thing. I can't actually think of what it is now. Before I started filming I could have told you, but of course now that I'm on camera I'm going to completely forget everything. So the hood does sit back on him quite well. It's got a really nice head sculpt. Zoom up again. Not really sure about the paint they've used on his actual head. It looks a little bit too glossy. I'm not sure if it's picking it up on camera, but it just looks a little bit too glossy for my liking. But it does look good. It's a really nice sculpt. In terms of colour, they've done a great job. I love the eye. I think his eye looks fantastic. That's really well painted. I'll just focus a bit more there. There we go. And of course his eye patch. You get a nice little silver thing on the front there, and on the side of the eye patch you got some silver little elements there as well, which looks really cool. Goes all the way around, sort of straps around his big bulbous head. A really nicely sculpted figure. In terms of the rest of the figure, I believe it is a repaint, sort of kit bash of Major Pano from the Legacy collection, I think. Just going off the top of my head. Obviously with a different head sculpt, because Major Pano didn't have the eye patch. So, but I really like the cloak robe sort of thing. I reckon it looks really cool. It just sits really nicely. If you sort of tug it back, you can have his arms sort of out and exposed a bit better. And it still looks really good. So, without further ado, I'll just pop his head off so I can take that off a little bit easier. In terms of his accessories, that did come with that little thing that I showed you before, as well as this rifle, which is pretty nice. Nice that it's got that sort of brown look as opposed to just a solid black weapon. And he does come with his other little blaster, which I haven't seen before. I'm not sure if this has been on any other figures, so if you've seen this one before, I'm definitely interested to know where it's from or where it originated. So, but unfortunately it doesn't really sit in his hands all that well. It's a bit of a small little piece of plastic, and it just doesn't really hold well in his hand. and even in this one with the finger hole, it's just a little bit too loose. So if I can just sits a little bit too loose in there, but never mind. Well, the body's pretty good. I like this sort of vest. He's got these little gizmos and gadgets, his rank badge there on his chest. Really nicely painted and really nicely applied. It's very fine little details, like the little red buttons on his rank badge there, and all the little silvers on the other piece here. So they've done a great job painting that. So, and down to his brown belt, you've got some pouches. And pretty standard sort of green pants, and really nicely painted as well. Like a nice sort of dark wash over it to give it that sort of shadow effect. And pretty standard black shoes, assuming they're boots, but pretty well done. It is just a cool figure to have, part of that Return of the Jedi sort of scene among all the pilots. So he's definitely a worthy addition to my collection personally. So probably a bit hit and miss with some collectors, not being an extremely interesting character, but as I've said numerous amounts of times, I really do like the different sort of aliens. So it's cool to have this guy in my collection. I've never had one of these before, so very, very cool. So that being said, that is Prune Face, or Orrimaarko, as he is now known. All the old collectors probably go by, or the old Star Wars fans probably still call him Prune Face, but it's cool that they gave all those guys names. But yeah, anyway guys, thank you for watching as always. I'm hopefully getting some things in the mail over the next couple of days, which I'll certainly do reviews on. Yeah, obviously Christmas is looming, so things are just getting a little bit busier. Money's being tighter because we're having to fork out for all the presents and Christmas and all that sort of stuff. So, and any other celebrations. So, yeah, it's getting busy. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks, won't we? Anyway, I'll be back before the end of the week with another video. I promise this time. I'll make sure I've got time. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, take care and may the Force be with you.